Children, you know about the functions of the skin, and you also know that skin is the outermost covering of our body. So now we wish to know how is the skin, how it is made. As it is the outer part of our body, it performs the number of function, how that skin may be, what it is made up of. When we see the skin from outside, we find that it is a layered structure. Okay, so that layered structure is made up of two important layers, that is epidermis and the dermis. Epidermis and dermis are the two important layers of the skin. Epi means upper layer, dermis means skin. Epidermis means the upper layer, while the dermis means below the epidermis. Layer below the epidermis is called as the dermis, while the outer layer of the skin it is called as the epidermis. So, below that, see here epidermis and dermis, from herein a small pore is there through which the hairs come out. Are you able to see? Epidermis and the dermis. Pink is the dermis, while the upper orange and dark reddish color, it is the epidermis. And from there, the the hairs are coming out through the pore. After that, below that you are finding the subcutis. We call it as a hypodermis. Hypo means below, epi means upper. Below the lower part of the dermis means skin, it is called as a hypodermis. It is also called as a subcutis. So how it is made up of? It is made up of network of blood vessels and the nerve fiber. What that subcutis contain? Blood vessels and the nerve fiber. So this nerve fiber, this network of nerve fiber and the blood vessels, it maintain our body temperature. Just now in the function of the skin, we studied that the skin helps to maintain or to regulate our body temperature. So who is doing? In subcutis or in hypodermis, the blood vessels or the nerve fiber which are present, they perform the function of protecting it. Are you clear? Then subcutis layer not only maintain the temperature, but it also helps to give us the protection from the heat and the cold. Okay, this is the function of the subcutis. Epidermis is the outer layer, so it protects us from the outside injury. Dermis help the epidermis in maintaining that work. Okay. So in this way, we had studied the structure of the skin. That skin is made up of epidermis, dermis and the hypodermis. Epidermis is the uppermost layer, while dermis is below the epidermis, while hypodermis is the lower layer which contains the blood vessel and the nerve fiber. Okay. What happens? You know that, children, when we walk or play in the hot sun. Okay. When we walk or play in the hot sun, we get tired. But at the same time, our skin becomes the wet. You know that sweat comes out from our body when we play or when we are tired. What is that sweat? We say that sweat comes out. So how it is produced? We have sweat glands. In the skin, we have sweat gland which secretes the sweat. So, what contains the sweat gland? Sweat. But what is that sweat? It is when we work or when we play, more amount of energy is utilized and thus it excretes some substance that mix with the water and in the form of sweat it comes out. Okay. After playing or doing the hard work, temperature of our skin rises, and thus to maintain the body temperature, what happens? The sweat is released from our body. Do you know that what is our normal body temperature, children? It is 37 degrees Celsius. It is 97 degree 98 or 97.8 degree Fahrenheit, or in Celsius it is 37 degrees Celsius. That is our normal body temperature. If the temperature increases or decreases than this, then we face certain health problem. Okay, our body temperature should not increase more than that. We say that a person is having the fever if our body temperature is more than 37 degrees Celsius or more than 97.8 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so skin helps to maintain our body temperature. Again, one important pigment is present in our body, that is called as the melanin. Okay, what is melanin? A pigment called melanin. Pigment means which gives the color. It is present in the cells of the epidermis. You know that epidermis is a layer which is present on the upper side of the skin, but this epidermis contains again the number of layers, which is the parenchymatous cells, then collenchymatous cells, sclerenchymatous cells. These layers of cells are present in the epidermis. So in that one of the layer, what is said here, melanin pigment is present. Melanin is synthesized in certain glands in the skin. Okay. Percentage of melanin decides the fairness or darkness of the skin. Not only the melanin decides, children, here it is written that percentage of melanin decides the fairness or darkness of the skin. Color of the skin also depends on the climate. Okay, melanin protects our skin and the inner parts from ultraviolet sun rays. Okay, this melanin pigment, it is present in the cells which are present in the epidermis, melanocytic cells. Okay, so these melanocytic cells contains the pigment that is called as melanin, and this melanin is also of three different types. Okay, according to the type of melanin, it contains the substance, and accordingly the color of the skin varies. What amount of melanin is present in our body, accordingly the fairness or darkness of the skin depends. Color of the skin depends on the melanin, it's okay, but it is also dependent on the climate. Okay, climate, that is a hot or a cold, accordingly the color of the skin also depends. You must be knowing that people living in cold area are fair than the people living in the hot climatic region. Third important thing is that color of the skin also depends on the parents. Okay, the parents genes, that is DNA, also plays an important role in imparting the color to the new one. So in this way, there are different ways of imparting the color to the young one. It is dependent on the amount of melanin. It is also dependent on the climatic conditions. It is also dependent on the parental DNA. Okay. So that melanin protects our skin and the inner part from the ultraviolet rays. Children, melanin not only gives the color, it protects our inner organs from the ultraviolet rays. So imagine what will happen if the production of melanin becomes less. As one grows in the older age, we observe that, or in nowadays, as ultraviolet rays are increasing, as pollution is increasing, you know that ultraviolet rays are reaching to us, and because of that we people are facing the skin problem. Okay, so melanin protects our skin from preventing the ultraviolet rays to enter inside. They are not allowing the ultraviolet rays to enter inside, and thus melanin protects our skin. Okay, but as nowadays the pollution is there, ultraviolet rays are entering in more amount, people are facing the skin problem. Second thing, we can say that after certain age, as the production of melanin reduces, at that time also person find the patches of a skin, patches of a colors, different patches on the skin, and that is only because of the less amount of a melanin. Okay, so melanin plays a very important role in giving a color. Okay, and it protects our skin also. Children, this is all about the lesson. See here, come to the page number 63. Observe the skin of yours and your grandmother. Okay, see here, grandmother is shown here. What difference you find? As we grow older, the proportion of fat beneath the skin reduces, and thus we find the skin shrinks. Thus we find the wrinkles on the skin of the older people. As fats reduces, the skin shows the wrinkles on the skin. Okay, and that wrinkles are not shown in the small baby because the fats are below the skin. Okay, here it is given, do you know? It is a melanin that determines the color of hair also. Yes, very important thing. Melanin do not determine the color of the skin. It also determines the color of our hair. Jet black hair is due to pure melanin, while brown lighter hair is due to sulfur in the melanin, and reddish hair is due to iron in the melanin. Just now I told you that melanins are of different types. So they give a color to the skin, different color to the skin according to the amount of things, chemicals which are present therein. If they contains the iron, skin is reddish in color. If they contain the sulfur, our skin may be brownish or lighter in color. If it is a pure melanin, then our skin is black. Okay, so this is all about the skin and the melanin pigment which is present inside the skin. Children, in this way we finished our lesson, and on Monday, as we have a Zoom meeting, therein I am going to discuss only about this lesson, the skeletal system. Okay, so read the lesson many times. Whatever the doubts you have, you ask your doubts, and after that I will help you to solve the doubts. And on Monday only, I think, as the lesson is finished, I will give the exercise. Okay? I will give the exercise on Monday, and on Wednesday, as one important thing keep in mind, on Wednesday I am taking your test on lesson 7, that is nutrition and diet. Okay? So prepare yourself for nutrition and diet. After that, I will take your test on this lesson, lesson number 8, skeletal system. So one by one, keep on learning your matter. Thank you.